This time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. First, I'd like to do a quick roll call for the board members. Director Stauffer?
Yes, hi, good evening.
Director Koo?
Hey, good evening.
Director Jeffries? Director Jeffries, calling Director Jeffries.
It wouldn't let me unmute, so
there you go.
I can do it now.
All right, and Director Pickens.
Hello, good evening.
All right. Okay, with that, if you could all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Already begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Well, at this point, we are still under virtual meeting guidelines and protocol. So any public comments at this point will still be taken written and can be sent to either Tracy Norman, tnorman@squimschools.org or schoolboard@squimschools.org. And just ask to make sure everybody has their mics muted and cameras off if you're not speaking as well for our fellow board members. And this meeting is being recorded at this time. All right, with that said, see, Director Jeffries, could you read our vision and mission statement for us, please?
Our vision, our community inspires and prepares each student to thrive. Our mission, in connection with our community, the Sequim School District empowers staff to inspire hope, provide flexible, innovative learning opportunities in a safe and respectful environment so that each student thrives.
Thank you. And Director Koo, could you do our acknowledgement of the land we stand on today?
Sure, you got it. The Sequim School District administrative and school buildings sit on the ancestral land of the S'Klallam people. While the S'Klallam traditionally come from one nation, history has led to the formation of three sovereign S'Klallam tribal governments. The Lower Elwha tribe, located in Port Angeles, Jamestown S'Klallam tribe, located in Sequim, and the Port Gamble S'Klallam tribe, located in Kingston. The district's primary partnership is with the Jamestown S'Klallam tribe. Today, the tribe and district share a partnership that includes official consultation on program and funding changes that may directly affect American Indian and Alaska Native students, as well as holistic service planning for students to remain successful in their educational journeys.
There's that mute button. Thank you. Okay. Next up, we a motion for approval of our December 14th regular meeting and 22nd special meeting.
Mr. Chair, Director Stauffer, a motion to approve of our December 14th and December 22nd special meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion?
Just a small thing. I just noticed there was a couple of under myself. There's just a typo in about the fourth line under VP Pickens where it talks about heeds to be our priority instead of needs to be our priority. Slight change, and I think it said at ESD, but I think I was referring to the legislative or the either the WASDA calls or the legislative call. I don't think I wasn't attending ESD, so I'm not sure if that was something that might have got misconstrued.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay. All those in favor of the minutes, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Next up, let me scrolling through here. So we've got 2 items of change to our agenda for this evening.
Mr. Chair, I can give it a shot.
Yep. Well, let's look at what these. So Superintendent Pryne, I think we need to remove the calendar adjustment 11.03. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we need to remove that, waiting on some further conversation. And we also need to remove 11.01, the action on Superintendent Clark's contract. We were expecting to get some key point information, but unfortunately did not get that in time through the holidays to be able to make a finalized decision on that this evening. So that will be done at a further time, at a later date.
Would move to approve the agenda as modified.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, and next up is the consent agenda. Motion to approve.
Move to approve as presented.
Do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
All right, thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you, Director Jeffries. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'd like to recognize the Hallard PTO and their generous donation for families in hardship over the holidays, and also what I perceive as extensive work to clear out some technology surplus that we have. Having gone through similar efforts myself in the past, nothing to this scale, I recognize the volume of activity that it entails to bring this forward to us today to surplus, and I look forward to voting in favor of the motion.
Great, thank you. Anything else? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. All right. Next up, we have public comment. We've not received anything at this point. So next up, we have our student board representatives. First up is our senior representative, Levy Preston. Is Levy with us?
It helps if I press all of my buttons.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Yeah, we've all been guilty of that this evening.
Right. All right. So OPA would like to share that the staff at OPA are working hard to financialize their back-to-school hybrid schedule. They're thrilled to welcome students back on campus. Students and staff at DBS are toward the end of the semester goals and grades. Staff members are excited to welcome new students and families at the start of the second semester. The high school would like to share that students can sign up for the PSAT through the main office. The PSAT will be given on Tuesday, January 26th. And the middle school would like to share that the Swim Middle School staff have a few things in mind as 2021 begins. How can they help students that may be struggling to finish the semester as strong as they are able, and they can't wait to see the students in person over second semester. In the first thought, they will be making sure to respect individual circumstance and focus on the learning. They are aware that with their feedback, they all seek to do no harm, but instead promote the growth of individuals. On the second front, they are eager to discuss and work out logistics to bring students back to campus. After researching some other district plans, the SMS hybrid team hopes is to be able to see all 6 periods twice a week, but they understand they are a part of a whole hybrid 2.0. Professionally, the staff continue to expand their ability to embrace universal design for learning as a primary instructional model as we move forward in growing themselves to meet the needs of all of their learners. CAS UDL model and internal internationally recognized instructional design model will take time to fully embrace and implement. That said, the SMS staff are already working on UDL lessons whenever they can, so their Gen Z kids will find lessons more engaging at their introduction and beyond. The UDL model starts with why, of learning and build on ever-expanding researches as to how the brain learns. This week, students will find out through their math classes about an additional grade level social interaction opportunity that Ms. Lawson is helping us set up outside the instructional timeframe. Those adult-supported conversation rooms will be open for the first time next Wednesday. The SMS staff understand the power of social interactivity in the learning process to keep seeking it. And today was the first day for PC, so it's been an exciting day. And that's all I have to share. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Olivia. And next up, we have Alyssa Beeby. Is Alyssa with us this evening? I don't see her on the list. Well,
I did not receive any notification from her or report.
okay. Okay, well, shoot. Hopefully she's all well. If we could check on that.
I was like, I'll text her right now. I'll see what was happening. She might have just forgot because it's like the first day of school and everything.
Okay, great. Thank you, Olivia. And then we can go back to Alyssa if she does join us. All right, thank you. So with that said, moving on, we'll go to our regular board communication. And Director Koo, you can lead us off.
All right, we'll do. Good evening. So I wanted to start by just, it sounds like a platitude this time of the year, but really more than ever, wishing everyone listening in, and I see we do have a lot of guests here tonight, peace and health in this new year. I can't think of anything more valuable to all of us collectively than those two items right now. So hoping for that. Other than that, wow, we made it. I'm just as amazed as you are and looking forward to the work ahead. Olivia, I got to tell you, every time I see and hear you after a break, it's always encouraging because it just brings me back to why we do what we do here on the board. And so just appreciate you as a student and your hard work and you remaining the connective thread between the board and the student body along with Alyssa. Really just, I guess I just wanted to speak to individuals who have reached out to the school board. We've seen your messages and appreciate folks continuing to do that. One, I guess a cautionary tale, and this is a tough one, but just something to consider. For folks that reach out anonymously, it's marginally helpful, but actually not really, because there isn't enough for us to follow up on with things that are kind of in that margin of hearsay or whatnot. So I really genuinely appreciate the good intent. I've been, certainly the subject of some of those concerns at times, and believe it or not, I actually appreciate that too. But really, in order to be able to move forward as a district and as a board and things of that like, encourage folks to have the courage to continue to reach out to us. If it involves a board member and you'd like to remain anonymously, you can always reach out to the board chair and keep that anonymity. So thank you for doing that. Just a concern that came from a message we received today, and otherwise looking forward to 2021 and the work ahead. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Director Koo. And Director Jeffries, you're up next. Just a quick clarification. Sometimes I jump the gun on to oppose or not, and on our agenda portion, your kind of I came in after I had asked for oppose on the change of the agenda. I'm assuming you were okay with that?
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Did come in late, I guess.
Yep, thank you. Just wanted to make sure before we moved on. Okay, you're up next, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to wish everyone a happier and healthier new year. This is there's a saying about hindsight is 2020, and this year 2020 has a new meaning. But hopefully we can learn from our lessons learned and celebrate our successes and move forward, because we have some decisions to make and challenges to overcome as we head for the getting our schools back and up and running full steam, hopefully sooner than later, but we're going to have to move very judiciously and cautiously. But getting closer and closer to our vision and mission is real important. And I did like to hear Olivia mention the universal design for learning, which I still believe is kind of a framework for us to move forward here. So I'm excited about that. This COVID crisis, I think, as I've mentioned it before, is kind of ripped off some of the Band-Aids on some of our fixes. And we're finding out some of our fixes held up pretty good and some of our fixes didn't. So we have some work to do. But I think with the community help and the staff's help and everybody working together to make this a really special place for students to learn and enjoy learning is very important. So no resolutions for 2021 except to be healthier and happier, and let's get back to school. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Jeffries. Libby, I saw your hand there. Did you find out something for us?
Yes, so she said that she had texted Tracy, so I'm not sure what happened there. It might have just been like technical difficulties, but she's sending me the reports right now.
Okay, yeah, just as soon as you get that, go ahead and raise your hand and we'll come back to you.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right, next up, Director Stoffer.
Yes, good evening. Extend my gratitude to those who are joining us tonight, and along with my colleagues, looking forward to moving into the work of 2021. And with that, some legislative items. WASDA's networking calls resume this Thursday. The legislative committee will be in work session this Friday and Saturday, where we start looking at some of the pre-file bills and then trying to get an idea of what the legislative session will look like. And speaking of, the legislative session kicks off on the 8 a.m. on the 11th. And there are some what they call pre-file bills or some wording out there. One of them is involving broadband. And I sent that out in a Direct Area 4 email this past week. And if my colleagues did not get that, I'll resend it. Also, there's a survey about vaccinations and what is the position that WASDA should take on that. And so I encourage colleagues to participate in that survey, which is open until the 8th. And then I'd like to go back to in time to the 15th of December. And that's when we had the joint meeting with the other Clallam County school districts, and the 24th legislators were there. And I just put a big plug shout out for our student reps, because what they spoke to, I think, was the highlight of the meeting, and the legislators took all their messages in. So again, Olivia and Alyssa, thank you for that, and thank you for being there. And then for colleagues and our student reps, the legislative conference is on the 21st and 22nd of February. There's a registration invite in all your emails. Early bird on that is the 24th of January. The format will be similar but virtual, with the first day, that Sunday, being the forums and speakers, which will probably include Superintendent Reichtel and the governor and so forth. And then on the 22nd is the typical day on the Hill. And that's what we're trying to figure out, how to work those meetings with the legislators, because that is pretty challenging. But that's what we'll be working on this weekend. And otherwise, thank you. And did Olivia have her hand up there? Otherwise, thank you again.
No, I'm still waiting on it. She hasn't sent it to me yet. She read it at 5 minutes ago, but she hasn't responded back.
All right, no worries. We'll get back to you. Okay, Director Pickens.
Thank you. And thank you to my colleagues that have already spoken to several of the things that I was going to speak to, and want to just echo, regarding Director Ku's comments about those that want to voice things to the board. We definitely appreciate those messages being sent. So I just wanted to echo what was said, and also just with these uncertain times right now, I want to make sure to reach out to both our students and our staff. There's just so much happening right now, and I know there's a lot of uncertainty, and we're getting inundated with information from just about every source. And when we're talking about concerns that directly relate to safety, that can be very, very concerning. So I wanted to make a special thank you to Dr. Pryne, who's at our last board meeting did talk about just the importance of all of our associations, making sure that we're going to make sure that they're comfortable and the safety protocols are in place, and we have agreed upon MOUs prior to moving forward, because things are changing, and it's important that our students and our staff are safe if we as we proceed. So I thank Dr. Pryne's commitment on that, and want to just make sure that we proceed very carefully. Thank you. That's all for me.
All right, great, thank you. Yes, and kind of to follow up from the rest of the board members as well. Here we are moving into a new year. We have a lot of work ahead of us, ranging from we're going to talk about reopening process a little bit today. We also have 2 levies that are going to be hitting the ballots here soon, and those are extremely crucial at this point for both maintaining our programs that are important to our students, maintaining a safe learning environment for our students, and also providing for our teachers that fall under those as well. So, keep an eye out for those. Hopefully we have everybody's support. This has been through a lot of struggles through this year with COVID and other things, but again, in the end, we have to remember that these levies are for the purpose of our students and our staff, and making the best learning experience we can for our kids moving forward. So just a reminder that hopefully we move forward to it for a good year this year, to finish it out, and get some kids back in school at some point here in the near future, and move forward. So just want to thank everybody that's on with us today. Hopefully our teachers and students had a good relaxing time off over the last couple of weeks. I know some of them didn't have too much, because I know my daughter was getting messages from some teachers so I know that y'all don't get a break as much as you should. So thank you for all the work you've done and are continuing to do as we move into the new year. And it looks like we have Olivia has her hand up, so I'll turn it back to you, Olivia.
Right, perfect. Alyssa wanted to explain how sorry she was for the misunderstanding, and that she just hopes everything works out, which it's working out in the end, so it's fine. Grable would like to share that they are very happy to welcome back their students from winter break. There's going to be a library curbside pickup and return on Wednesday, January 6th during the noon until 3 p.m. There are other days for the pickup and return, and those days will be on January 13th and 20th, the same hours as Wednesday. Helen Haller would like to share, everyone is excited to get the students back on the school grounds. There is a KG material pickup today from 9 until 10 a.m. Also, the 3rd grade materials pickup is today from 12 until 1. Pickup day for the 4th graders and 1st graders as well on Wednesday to 11:30, and for the 1st graders, it will be from 11:30 to 1. And I know a couple of the of the elementary schoolers, and they are so excited to get back into the classroom. So that's a plus to all of this downside. So thank you.
Come on, there we go. Awesome. Thank you, Olivia, for tracking that down, and pass on, no problem to Alyssa for us. Appreciate it. Okay. Moving on with our agenda. Next up, we don't have any reports, so we'll turn it over to Acting Superintendent Pryne for her reports.
Okay, thank you, President Gibson. I appreciate that, and Happy New Year to everybody, and welcome. It's nice to see a big crowd, even if we can't really see your faces. We know you're there, so thank you for attending. So a couple of things. I talked to the YMCA over the break, and one of the things that we would like to see if we can start piloting is to offer some virtual exercise classes for our staff. I talked to Gail Sumter, and they, first of all, let me back up a little bit. What kind of started this is the Y offered to do delivery for our food service on the 2 weeks that we were on break. And so they made delivery stops and dropped food off for families. And so I was talking to Gail during that 2-week period, and we started talking about possibly offering some virtual classes for our staff, because I was talking about the Clown Resilience Project that we're doing hopefully every other Wednesday, starting on the 13th. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there for people that are here, that we may be able to have a partnership with the YMCA and do some virtual classes on Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8:15 on the opposite Wednesdays of when we have the Clown Resilience Project. And it's definitely optional. People don't have to attend. It's not something that's mandatory. It's just something that, we're kind of calling it our Wellness Wednesday. And so I just think we just need to sometimes get up and move after we've been behind a computer screen, or maybe move before we get behind the computer screen. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about that community partnership. I also have been in contact with the director at the Clallam Tribe Health Service Center. I hope I got that correct, Brent, and I apologize. I see you're on here, so if I didn't, my apologies. But Brent and I have been talking about what, first of all, he was asking about using our building, possibly, our high school gymnasium, possibly, to do vaccinations, and then it was going to be moved to the parking lot, and then they decided on another location. But in the conversation, he asked me how many staff would be interested in vaccines, and this was last week, and I said, I don't know, I'll have to ask them. So today, we did a two question survey. Are you interested in getting a vaccine? Yes or no? And we have approximately a little over 300 staff, and out of 300 staff, we heard from 288 of them. And we put the survey out at about, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and said, could you please answer by 4 o'clock? And by that time, we had 288 people answer. We had 47 answers in probably the first minute. And out of that, 72% of those people said yes, they would be interested in the vaccine, and 27% said probably not, which is fine. It's, it's not mandatory, it is optional. But anyway, so we're in those conversations with the health center. So I will keep you updated as we get more information there. But so Brent and I have been talking, so that's been kind of nice. And he's talking to the governor tomorrow. He and his colleagues are talking to the governor tomorrow to see where schools fit in on the list of, the list of people receiving vaccines. And so anyway, as we get closer, you'll be getting more info as we get closer to possibly being able to receive the vaccine. And it is a 2-part vaccine. So you receive one vaccine 1 month, and then 3 to 4 weeks later, you receive the second vaccine. So just wanted to let people know that we are in those conversations. There is nothing in stone yet that says, you know, a week from tomorrow we're getting vaccines, but I was very encouraged to talk with parents, so I appreciated that. Let's see. Also, I'm going to just jump right into the levy update. Tracy, if you could pull up that flyer. So this is the flyer that we are sending to our printer, and it should be done by the end of this week. And on one side is the EP&O levy, which is the Educational Programs and Operations levy. And if you notice, it says renewal, because the taxpayers in SQUIM are already paying for the levy. This is not a new tax. This is a renewal of the tax that you're already paying. And the things that this levy pays for, if you want to scroll down a little bit, Tracy, and I'll read it. Oftentimes things are mandated by the state and the funding does not come with them. So the things that the levy dollars are being spent on are funding for counselors and our nursing staff, student support, lowering class sizes, the highly capable program, extracurricular such as athletics, music, drama, after school programs, field trips, those kinds of things, and then staffing costs that are not funded by the state. And if you notice, it's about $29 million over a 4-year period, and it's about $1.24 to $1.26 per $1,000 of assessed valuation. The taxpayers are already paying this, so it is, again, not a new tax. Now, if you want to scroll to the capital projects levy, Tracy, there we go. And capital projects can be used for upgrading buildings, upgrading the infrastructure in buildings. It cannot be used for building buildings. And the capital projects levy expired on December 31st, 2020. So just last week it expired. So if this levy were to pass, it would start on January 1st, 2022. And what we're asking is for approximately $15 million, and it would be about 63 cents per $1,000 of assessed valuation for all kinds of wonderful upgrades to the district that are sorely needed. So the things that are included are video surveillance system, a network system, and a voice system, and that is district-wide. Replacement of the roof, the heating system, the network upgrades, and sewer connection at Grey Wolf. At Helen Haller, an installation of a fire alarm system. At the middle school, replacement of the roof, the gym floor, and cafeteria floor replacement. And at the high school, replacement of the heating system, the science, CTE classroom upgrade, gym floor replacement, roof replacement, and then a track replacement and stadium restrooms outside. So anyway, so that is the capital projects levy, and both of these measures will be on the February 9th ballot. And we are getting the word out. We have contacted several organizations around the community, and we're setting up meetings with them, and they have to be virtual through the 19th of January. January 11th and January 19th, I will be on the radio to answer questions that have been sent in by people. I will be answering questions on the levies. And so please tune in on those days, and it's at 1 p.m. for about 45 minutes. Anyway, so we have various people scheduled, and we're working with community folks to follow up. So when I give the information on what our levies will be used for, they can come in behind us and tell people why they should vote for the levy. So that's the levy update. Do you have any questions on that?
Nothing here.
Okay.
And I don't see any hands at this time.
All right, so then I'm going to jump into the next item, which is the reopening of schools, because I know everybody wants to know, give us a date, give us a date. And I will tell you that the cases are dropping. If you notice today, for those of you that check this on a daily basis, Clallam County has a wonderful spreadsheet, and today's cases for the last 14 days are 121. When we dismissed at Thanksgiving, they were 233. So we have dropped by over 111 cases, which is very good. Still high though. It's still high. However, we are looking and discussing and using the guidelines from Governor Inslee and the guidelines from the CDC, and making sure that we have all the protocols in place in our buildings so that we can make a determination on when students are coming back. If this cases continue to drop, I know Dr. Unthank has said it is safe for students to come back to school. We would be in a hybrid when that happens. We are looking at the end of January to start second semester. However, we'll have to see where we are then. But we will have our plans ready to go. We'll have our MOUs in place. Possibly we might all have vaccines by then for those of us that plan on getting a vaccine. So there are just a lot of factors, and I realize it's only 3 weeks away, but a lot can be accomplished in those 3 weeks. So I just wanted to update people on that, and we will have more concrete information as we move through this week and next week. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. So on that note, those are my updates.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the board? All right. Seeing none, we can move on.
Director Gibson, I'm sorry, I was looking for my unmute.
There you go.
What was the date or dates of the Levy information sessions again?
Well, we have the Levy sessions on the radio. I'll be on the radio on the 11th and the 19th. We're trying to schedule several other Levy. We haven't heard back from several groups. We do have, let's see, the city of Sequim, we're tentative for the 25th of January. And I'm waiting to hear back from about, 15, 20 others. So we will make calls again tomorrow.
Great, thanks, Jane. And if there's a recording of the radio interviews, be happy to try and spread that far and wide, although my school board Facebook following is pretty anemic. I'm working on better content.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Any other questions?
All right. Well, if none, we can move on to board business. So first up, we would have actually 11.02, which is the approval of the extension of the personal services contract for Dr. Pryne.
Move to approve as presented.
And I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion?
Just want to just again thank Dr. Pryne for stepping in during such a critical time, and happy that she's here to assist us.
Concur.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Pryne. We really appreciate all the hard work that you've done over the last couple of months, and look forward to at least continuing on for the next couple of weeks. So any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign? All right, motion carries. Right, we scratched 11.03 off the calendar, so next up we have, let's see. Second readings for I think, are these all second readings? Let me verify here. Yep. Yep, so first up we have 11.04, second reading and approval of 610 conflicts of interest, which we tabled at the last meeting. So we would look at that one separately first. And the rest we could approve as a blanket, but so I need a motion on 11.04 second reading and approval of policy 1610 conflicts of interest.
Mr. Chair, I'm happy to make the motion to approve. I just wanted to clarify, are we doing the first class or the second class district? Did we get a resolution on as to the confusion there?
I second the motion, and then we can answer Eric's question.
All right, thank you. Okay. What was the question again, Director Pickens?
I think from the last meeting, there was just a question as to whether or not it was the first class districts or second class districts.
Right. Go ahead, Dr. Pryne.
Yes, it would be a class 1 district because there are over 2,000 students.
Okay, so we're just approving that one then. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
we moved both of them over because they were both on the last board agenda, so we wanted them to be the same, but you will not need to approve conflicts of interest for second class districts because we are not one. I mean, you're welcome to approve it, but it doesn't apply to us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. So this would be 1610 conflicts of interest first class districts. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, moving forward, we have 1105 through 1125, which we could do is a blanket motion.
Mr. Chair,
Good,
Go ahead.
Director Stoffer.
Mr. Chair, I propose a motion to approve items 11.05 through 11.25.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Right. Well, with that said, I think we broke a record for shortest board meeting in a while. So if anybody has anything for the good of the order, Director Jeffries has his hand up.
Yeah, I think, I didn't see it on the agenda, but I think our next policy workshop is Wednesday, January 13th. Is that correct?
That is a good question.
Yep.
Looking for, do we have a clarification on that?
It's on the screen.
Oh, is it? Oh, there we go. Got it. There we go. 13th. And then our next board meeting will be the 19th, as the 18th is a holiday. Director Stoffer.
Yes, could we add for the next agenda just the dates of the legislative conference for the 21st and 22nd of February, so we can keep the visibility on that, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
We got it on here now. We'll move it forward so as it's still on the after that meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, anything else? Right, with that said then, meeting adjourned. Everybody have a wonderful evening. And again, a wonderful new year. Good night, all.
Good night, thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Night. Thank you for everybody coming.